Hello, everyone. Welcome to the That's How We
That
Roll
was
channel.
ominous.
Tonight, Misfits of Alseta. This is a D&D 5e actual play, and all the lovely players before you are playing level 10 characters.
Yay! I remember.
I remember.
Yeah.
But before we get to know
Too
him, let's
soon.
go
Sorry.
to Lee for an announcement.
Oh, hey! Remember Idle Champions?
I
Remember Forgotten Realms?
I know. You with the Pharaoh. I remember.
Remember Jahira?
Oh my God!
Remember
Baldur's
Baldur's
Gate,
Gate
yeah.
3 characters?
Yeah, I remember.
Remember how to put codes in? Because I
No.
don't remember how to put codes in.
How?
But if you do, you can put in Trow Bor Agin, and you can get a free Electrum chest. That again is Trow Bor Agin. Remember when we make bits?
I remember.
Speaking of bits, while I'm here, I'm Lee Goldberg 337 on all the social media platforms that I use, but never post enough on. Anywho, here I will be playing the Circle of Stars Druid David. Both of us are him. And yeah, I guess Duval, you're number 2.
Sadly, I'm number 2 because April Raygun could not be here right now, and it's okay. What will we ever do? We'll keep shooting shit because I'm Kotatar. That's my character. I'm also named Jacob Plicque. I skipped ahead. Whatever, no problem. It's fine. Improv. And he had pronounced both myself and Kotatar, who's a Githzerai Horizon Walker Ranger. And let's fucking have a good time. Ain't that right, number 3?
Yeah, g'day. Name's Daniel Denova. I like to play Dungeons and Dragons on tabletops. It's pretty good. Today,
Yeah.
I'm going to be playing a
Swipe left.
cheeky little fart called well, hi there! I do fishing! Hey,
Swipe left.
G'day! I do fishing. I'm right. Left swipe. God, I can't keep running into these different profiles. Okay, I'm here. I'm sailing on. I'm a Dhampir Rogue Barbarian. Don't strike me! Okay. Pronouns fluid. You can find me Twitter, other places. Daniel Dover, Don Kiwi. Cool.
I just ran a marathon.
Remember Silva?
Running into different profiles. You swipe left.
Remember Silva? I remember. Whoa!
I was hoping they'd be right then. She just dropped in.
Oh, that would be really
That would have
funny.
been amazing.
Damien. it's your
Muted
turn.
Damien trying to do his intro.
Hi, I'm Damien.
Swipe.
I like long walks on the beach,
Oh, no.
chocolate,
Oh no.
and a spa day.
Wait, we got Danny!
Hey!
Much more importantly, Dani is now
All right.
joined.
Okay, yeah, now I can hear it all. Hello.
I'll do my intro quickly,
Okay.
and then we'll
Okay.
go to Dani.
Sounds good.
I am playing Reginald Bellagamba. Your favorite Eladrin Rune Knight Paladin.
I don't remember.
I don't remember that. I don't remember
I
that.
don't remember.
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
And we
Danny's
are
like,
pure-
what is going on?
We are true to form, pure chaos at the start of an episode. I'll just do my quick Indigenous acknowledgements. So I begin today by acknowledging the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, traditional custodians of the land on which I'm playing from today, and pay my respects to the elders past and present. We have Daniel from the land of Aotearoa, the Maori people, and from America we have people from the lands of the Fernandino Tatavium, Hohokam, Tumakua Creek, and Cherokee. Pay our respects to Indigenous people all over the world. And we're gonna say hi to Dani now.
Hi, Danny. Gage.
Hi, Dani.
Hi, everybody.
I remember
Thank you
Danny.
for the patience.
I remember.
Hello. I am Dani Gage. I play Silva, the Warlock on this wonderful, podcast / actual play. And I use she, her pronouns. Silva also uses she, her pronouns. And I think that's really it.
Hey, I'm Hope Lavelle, your dungeon master for the evening. And you know what? I'll go ahead and do this because I forgot to do it last week. In Idle Champions, if you go to get your code, you can also get me because there's a new Glitch skin of Penelope Halfpint that looks like me. It's an Azamar Penelope Halfpint that looks like Hope Lavelle, wearing super cool iridescent clothing. And also, I have a new familiar named Happy the Capybara. So definitely go hop into Idle Champions and get the new me.
Happy the Cappy.
Happy the Cappy. That's exactly it.
The happy, no cappy.
Anyways, so with all that said, I think we are ready to start our intro and get started. Yeah, let's do this. All right.
Member sound.
Member
Member
sound. I remember.
I'm a member.
Darkness is falling. Through chaos, fate is calling. Your dreams are haunting you. Nightmares becoming true. So will you stand and fight? Will you survive the night? It's time to awaken and find alive.
Hey, a recap.
Whoa.
I'm gonna play some music and hopefully my players can hear it.
I can hear it.
I can't hear it.
What?
That's weird,
Be
dude.
fine. We don't. It's
Can
not like.
Silva hear it? I want to make sure the audience can hear it.
I mean, I think if
There's-
Damien can hear it, everyone can hear it probably, because that's
Yep.
what it's from.
Yeah, 'cause
Yep.
that's a source.
It's
Okay.
a Yuli song.
I can't hear. I can't even hear it on Twitch.
What?
I'm gonna turn it up a little bit.
Yeah, I can definitely hear it.
No music. Mama Strain says there's no music.
Turn it off and on, maybe.
Oh, there you go.
The
Stop
sharing.
sharing, and I'm gonna try again.
Oh,
Why me punching the microphone?
what music? Interesting.
Yeah, just take the microphone
How
and you're gonna hit
how
it
about
again.
And just stab it.
Then you're gonna shake it and then blow on it. for
I
a
can
bit.
hear it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
we'll do
Nutella.
it.
and then you just go.
Oh my god, off and on worked. Who would have
Wow.
thought?
Wait.
Guys,
Literally
so
everyone.
Just make sure when we go live, we're like buttoned up. All right, whenever you're ready, Damien.
Let's go live.
But no, don't-
Wow. I was
Okay.
like gaslit myself for a second. I was like, what? Where? What?
Okay, whew. Today's been a day. Let's do this.
let's
Okay,
go.
Recap.
Previously on Lost.
Previously
remember.
on Misfits of
Sam,
Alseta. We had a special guest who played a character named Caliban, who was a necromancer who had a nightmare that plagued his entire town. He summoned a demon from a book that was given to him by the Nightmare King, who then destroyed the whole city, killing everyone. And city, by city I mean town. And it was up to the Misfits to help him fix it, and they did. And all is okay now? Question mark.
Forever!
Debatable?
Yeah, they
Um,
definitely didn't kill their entire village, sure.
So we'll pick up. The sun has just risen. It has been a long day, a long night. You guys, what would you like to do?
Sleep. Desperately. David is exhausted. But first, shit.
I mean, there's a tree over there.
No. David's super tired, but he will go over to San Leon. And he'll say, "Hey, I don't know if I told you about when I scried last time on your dad. He's got another kid, like a kid. you might. I was gonna scry and check in on him. I don't know how safe it is there. Or I was wondering, would you? I'm gonna do it anyway, but would you want to be with me during? I could tell you what I see.
Yes. I saw this child of my father.
You what?
If he is my
How?
father, really, at this point.
How did you see
thoughts.
him?
In the desert.
Oh,
There was a truth, if you will.
that means
Over-
literally nothing to me. None of you told me about your truths.
Well, if it's anything like mine, I would imagine people saw something deep in their minds, or I don't know if it's a premonition or some really weird therapy session, but I saw a child, maybe 10 or 7, between that age. Apparently it was my brother. I've never met them, but I know what they look like, if that is them. I'm not sure.
I don't know how it works. I don't know if you had a dream of it. You talked to them?
I did. If it
What were
was
they
them,
like?
I don't know. Oh, childish wonder. They were told that I am a piece of shit, and that their father is amazing, and that they love them, and they want to be just like them. And yikes, is all I can say to that. I don't want them to be like that. I don't know this child, but I can't have anyone subjected to such atrocities. Don't.
So, do you want to be a part of the scry with me? I mean, I don't think I can bring you in or anything, but I can tell you what I see.
Yes, absolutely. If it's to do with my family, I would like to know what's going on.
Okay. And then David will scry on. Do you know his name?
Do you want to? Do I know?
I mean, David, you know
I mean, David
his
knows.
name.
Oh, right. What did he
It's
say it was again?
Axel.
Axel.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
do have that written down. All right, I'm gonna scry on Axel.
Also,
Okay.
I guess
And
this
so-
is what he looks like. I think maybe describes child.
Would seem that well,
This child.
I've seen him.
Yes.
So does this get to be firsthand? I have met the target since I was in
No.
the room. No. All right.
I describe child.
I have some of. I prick San Leon and I take a little drop of his blood. So I now have some blood of this family line. Can I use body part, lock of hair, bit of nail, and the like? I have his.
Yes. I guess
Yes.
go and take a clipping or whatever the fuck you do.
Tell me
Okay,
where you're
so-
doing this.
I don't think David has any real like trying to think. That's not the word's not respect, but no, like he's kind of ambivalent about magic. Like it's not like it's something because he just got it one day. He didn't have to train or study. There's no need for him to have it. So I think he just is kind of like and like brushes some leaves out from under him so he can sit down. So just somewhere in the
Okay.
he just plops
are
down and does it.
You have San Leon is with you. Is anyone else with you? You want this
I-
to be private?
So it's one of those things where it's meant to be semi-private because it's like Sans kid brother. It's not something I would invite like everyone come gather around as we spy on Sans family.
Get in here.
Popcorn, yes.
But I think it really is seriously the like he had this idea, he wanted to do it, now's as good a time as any. So it's not like it's like, here, let's go to this secret alcove. He's just like, All right. Sit down.
Like,
And
I think Kotatar is within earshot at least. And he's like, I'm gonna go find us a nice house to break into.
All right. Go do that. And,
So- Mhm.
be careful, though. This place still gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah.
Silva, Reginald, what do you guys like to do?
I wouldn't mind having a quick chat with Silva, but can wait till after the stuff with David if you like.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
all right, Sandy.
I'll bring Nira with me.
Yeah.
You want to put your hand palm up towards me?
Of course.
And I will trace my finger on his palm, and it basically like draws these little specks of light. A constellation appears on his hand, and I'll like reach, like mystically reach like into his hand, and that's kind of where I'm pulling the essence of the family out, and I just pull it back and put my hand to my mind, and that's gonna be. I'm gonna do that for I guess 10 minutes, right? Is that?
It's
A lot
Uh,
of star stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, it's ritual casting, 10-minute. So basically, yeah, I'm just doing constellations and just having kind of just spiraling cosmoses kind of going around us. So it is. The target must make a wisdom save. So a wisdom saving throw of 17 plus 5 to their save modifier because I know of them, minus 10 because I have his ancestral blood.
Okay, so basically -5.
Minus 5. That's the one.
He has no bonuses besides that, so that is a 7.
All right.
The child fails.
The child.
The child.
Congratulations.
I never feel you.
I swear, if
Alright,
this kid
so,
says
yeah.
got it memorized to me, I'm gonna
Oh boy, it's game over after that.
got it memorized.
Can't believe I
So
understood
it
that
works.
reference.
So, you create an invisible sensor within 10 feet of the desired target. You can see and hear through this sensor as if you were there. The sensor moves with the target, remaining 10 feet of it for the duration. The creature that can see invisible objects sees through the illuminations. Okay. The first thing, as your invisible sensor, maybe it's an eye, it starts to find itself throughout time and space to find Axel. The first thing you hear is footsteps, pitter patters of a young boy running through an echoey hallway. And as you hone in on this sound, you see Axel. And it's almost striking how very similar he looks to San'Leon. Just a very young version of San'Leon. Like, you might even think it could be what San'Leon looked as a child. And he's running down this hallway. It's echoing. It's dark. It's stone hallway. There's candle lights, torches on the wall. And you're everything around him is slightly hazy as you're really just honing in on him. But you do get the sense of the environment around him. And you see him, he stops by the corner, and he puts his back up against the wall, and then he peeks. And then he comes back, and then he peeks again. And then he runs down around the corner, and you're just following down all of these different tunnels and hallways, and he's just running. But he's not running in a sense of like running for his life. He's almost running as if this is his version of play. And you get this sense. Give me an insight check.
I can't. And while I'm just seeing this kid who looks just like Sam, I do have a passive of 19, but I'll give you my active of 16. Okay. So you just hear there's like a little crack of glass near, like the sound of a little crackle of glass. And as I'm seeing this kid who looks just like San and he's playing, while David is just kind of like zoning into this, a like kind of figment, uh, David like kind of peels apart and just looks at San smiling and then goes forms back in. I got a 16 on my check.
Okay, that's good enough to know that this might be his form of play. You might get the sense that he doesn't have anyone to play with. There's no one, perhaps, around him that is his age, or that he is secluded in a sense. So this is what he does for fun. This is kind of what you're getting from how he's reacting, how he's making his own fun. And as he runs down these corners, around these corners, and into darker hallways, and it almost feels like he's in the depths of a castle. And suddenly, poof, he falls to the ground after hitting something. And he looks up, and you see, well, yes, you see a man. I won't say you see the man, you see robes. And someone wearing a robe, a hood over them, so you can't see their face. And they simply say, "Young master, what are you doing down here? You know you're not allowed to be here." "Well, I just got really bored, and there's nothing to do up there, and Mom didn't like me running around, so I came down here, and I thought it'd be fine." "No. You know the rules. If your father found out what you were doing here..." "Yeah, well, Father's not been the same since he came around. Father's become boring and tired all the time, and he never wants to talk to me." "It is not wise to speak of your father like that. You know this, little child." "I know. You're not going to tell him, are you?" "I have to tell him everything, you know this." "Wait, but don't tell him I said that, please. Please, he'll get really angry. Please don't do that." "You know the rules. Now, run back upstairs and find your mother." How long is your scry?
Probably about like 15 feet. Oh,
I think you get how long of a
I know.
duration?
I was kidding.
Oh,
I know.
okay.
I was just being a silly.
This many.
Oh, it's duration
Up
10
to 10
minutes.
minutes.
Yeah, I think that's about all you get at this moment. I think after the running and the conversation, your scrying begins to end.
What is there any way that I can try to focus, like as the boy was talking, that I can just try my hardest to focus and see into the robes, like into the, like as they're now looking at each other and talking, maybe a flicker of the light from a candle, maybe I could see something to get an idea what this guy looked like.
Give me an investigation check.
Come on. Why, that's a natural 20 plus 5.
Hey.
25.
Well,
Oh,
well,
man.
well.
All right, you're.
Because
you're gonna
April's
make
not
me
here.
have to look up
We're-
some- Yep. Okay, give me a second. I got to think of his name. I have to look him up in my document.
I think I know who it is.
Yeah, give me his name. You can.
I mean, do I just say it out loud or?
You can message it to me. I'm trying to
Okay,
remember.
I'll message it. Let me
um,
just message it on Discord to you. I just click on it, don't I? Do I?
Nope. that
It's
didn't work. Thank you. All right.
There you go.
Yeah, that's it.
I knew
My
it.
goodness.
I knew
That
knew
was it. Dang it. I didn't write it in my notes. Oh, I found it. Okay.
Yay!
Okay. You get the glimpse of an older vampire. No, sorry. Is he a vampire?
He's not a vampire.
I
Or
know
at
he's
least I don't
not.
think he is.
He's old though.
He doesn't
He's very
look like one.
yeah. Okay. It's been so long since I just not expecting you to pull this scry out on me. Okay. He looks very, very old-fashioned. He's very aged, but he stands respectably. He still holds himself high, but he is an elder man. Very pale skin, wrinkled. His eyes are very dark. And you notice that he has just a frown on his face at all times. Even when looking at this poor child, he doesn't seem to have a hint in his expression of joy. That is what you see.
So I share all of that with San. And as I'm like kind of come out of it, just the pure exhaustion from all of like the day stuff, like, and that's all I saw. And I just pass out to
David,
sleep.
I just grab him real quickly and just like lay him down very like carefully.
Oh.
And as I'm doing that, I'm looking over David and making sure that he's okay, whilst thinking to myself, now from that description, would I be able to make a guess on who this is?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
That was a nat 20 description, bro.
Yeah, it was an actual description. Okay, so Sen would just be like sort of musing to himself. I don't know if you like, is David passed out or is he?
I mean, he's falling asleep. He's still there if you have questions or whatever, but it took a lot out of him.
David, thank you. Oh God, sounds like he looks the same as he always did, which is troubling, very troubling. Are you all right? Do you need anything? Can I get you anything?
No, it's just been a really long day. But San, your brother's lonely, and he's in a really bad place. He needs you.
Do we know anyone who can send messages?
Well, can we talk about it in the morning?
Yes, of course.
I don't.
My apologies, friend.
No, it's.
Look, I'll hold on, and I just like glance around, and I just like reach into my pack, and I'm not wearing it at the moment, but I've got like a cloak, and I bundle it up and just put it under his head. Go, comfy. Right, you get some sleep. I'll just mill for a bit. And
I'll always try to save some of the ability to scry on him at night if you want. All right, I gotta get some shut eye, but
get some shut-eye, friend.
don't let anything kill me while I sleep.
And I'll do some cooking in the morning if you want.
Yeah, it sounds really good. Sounds great.
All right, friend. As you're drifting off, Sam just looks at you for like a few seconds as you're asleep and goes, he really is one of the good ones. And just kind of looks around. I wonder where... and we'll cut off from there, because he's just wondering about where Kotatar is.
Silva, Reginald, what would you like to do?
So I'd like to approach Silva and just sit down next to her and have a quick conversation. Yes. Silva, how are you? Oh, you're muted, Dani.
Oh,
No, you're good.
You're good now. You're good now.
I'm just sitting there playing with my what are they called? Ring. Yes. I don't have my necklace on, so I'm sitting there playing with my ring in my hand as you sit down next to me.
So, how was your truth in the desert?
My truth. I mean, those weird visions that they were showing us.
Yeah. What did you see? I can tell you what I saw, but what did you see?
I saw this figure. Kind of hard to explain what they look like, but just kind of this amorphous rock person.
Did they look familiar?
Vaguely? I mean, they reminded me of how I got my powers, actually.
You've always been quite coy about that. Is it something you want to
coy,
talk
just-
about, or not?
No, it's just... Well, I've told you all, you know, I think. I was working on that necklace that David wears. After the death of, you know,
Yeah,
Bob
I know.
Ryan. It was kind of like a farewell piece, you know, sort of something I was just putting my grief into, and this figure that I saw in our truth or whatever
Yeah.
appeared to me, and they offered me power.
Yeah.
And that's how it all came to be. I mean,
I knew some of those guys. I had the broad brushstrokes, but I don't know how you felt about it. Was it a power you wanted, or was there a deal involved?
I mean, yeah, it was kind of one of those. Well, the conversation between us basically went, hey, things suck, and you have something I need. And they needed basically just like, I don't know how to explain it. They wanted to essentially feed off of the grief. In exchange for that, they could help me not ever have to worry about losing anyone again.
Do you feel there are dangers or consequences coming down the road from that deal, or are you safe?
It's fine. I mean, in that truth or whatever, it was like, I'm hungry still, and I was like, well, there's other things to feed off of, and it wasn't even like it was a real thing, you know, just a truth or whatever. So I'm not really worried about it.
You never cease to amaze me. Most people would be terrified of consequences down the road for dealing with some unknown entity, but you just shrug it off.
I mean, it wasn't like it was some like glowing green figure that was cackling evilly and saying, I'm going to give you power, but you're going to regret this later. Follow me. Ah ha ha, riches beyond, you know, it wasn't anything creepy like that. Although I feel like that's what everyone assumes.
Well, if things do go pear-shaped, Ella, I've got your back.
I know. You've changed a lot.
Really?
Yes, a lot.
I thought so too. It's great to have it confirmed.
Good.
I felt like that time in the sand was a bit of a, what's the common parlance? Epiphany.
I guess that's what an epiphany is, isn't it? It's kind of like a revealed truth.
Yeah. I saw Rylan, my oldest brother.
How is he doing?
Well, I don't know if that was real or just a vision, but he's the same ass he always was. He was taunting me about what happened to Ruben.
As if he knew what happened to Ruben.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
that's
feel like I stood up for myself though.
good. Finally, about time.
I felt this my whole life, like I've been punching bag, the kicking boy, someone to look down on. And I've always tried to hide that, or to have a false sense of bravado. But... And even when we all joined together, us happy band, I always felt David was pressuring me. I felt Kotatar didn't care. I thought Sandleon and Nira were just making fun of me and putting mud on my back.
What, you just thought they were your siblings all over again?
Yeah. But I thought that's what I deserved. I'm the punching bag. But you never treated me that way. But then I realized, talking to Rylan, I needed to hit rock bottom. I needed to hit rock bottom in order to change, in order to gain a shred of confidence, tiny little shred that it is. And I realized my friends did all that because they cared.
Yeah.
And they were being
Exactly.
playful, and they wanted me to be better, and they liked me. Well, some of my behaviors perhaps they didn't like, but they wanted me to be better.
Yeah. And you did. Finally stepped up to be the person you were supposed to be all along. And I'm glad that they could encourage that.
Thank you. Anyway, shall we turn in for the night?
Yes, we should sleep. We should get sleep. Sleep is
Oh.
good. Sleep helps you not die.
Yes, I could eat a horse in the morning.
It's not
As
good meat. Don't do that.
Right.
as you guys find yourselves a place to lay, Kotatar, you and Nira bust into a couple empty houses, find some nice beds if you'd like. I'm sure Nira's also looking for some shinies. What would you like to do, Kotatar?
Yeah, like I said, it's a sort of a combination of, misty or ethereal step into the houses, or if I'm, because obviously limited on spell slots, then a quick elbow smash never hurt nobody. But taking a moment to himself, he takes out the two crystals. And he's using his Githzerai psionic abilities to cast an invisible mage hand. So it's literally just like the two crystals that are just floating, and he's just staring at them. And he typically doesn't take time to monologue or talk to himself, but there's like a bit of a curious look on his face as he's staring at these two crystals. Now, I don't know how I feel about coincidences, the way that some of our new allies say that they do. If anything, I just find it quite curious. And he kind of like lays back on like a bed, and they kind of float up in the air. So I'm curious, Alseta. Is this you? Do you feel like, even though perhaps from your perspective, we may have rejected you in some capacity, and this is your way, perhaps, of making things right on the back end? Or truly, is it something completely different?
Are you trying to communicate with Alseta or just speaking out loud?
It's one of those like sending it into the ether type situations,
Mm-hmm.
not fully expecting a response at all.
Mm-hmm. You receive no response, and it's eerily quiet in this room, this home, in this deserted town. But it's not just an eerily quiet, it's almost like a disconnection. Like, almost as if, as you said, maybe Alseta is very disconnected from you right now.
He's finding it oddly peaceful. He hasn't been alone pretty much ever. It's kind of nice.
Sanleon, you had gone off to find Kotatar. What would you like to do?
Well, looking around the village that is just fucking silent, and silent as the grave, if you will. Is going to just like walk past and just kind of like sort of halfway for looking for Kotatar, just kind of like stop in the middle, looking around at this desolate village and just musing to oneself. This is what all the other villages used to look like. Eerily similar. And then just kind of walk past, go, Kotatar, like kind of in a mid-tone. Not too loud, but not too soft.
Kotatar, you can give me a perception check to hear that from inside the house.
19.
Yeah, you hear a little muffled Kotatar coming from outside.
He'll sort of swing out of the bed and sort of pop up and walk through the front door.
Like, almost drawing my sword. Going, that is you. You are good. Okay. Just place that back.
You want to pick a house?
Yeah, I suppose so. I have some odd information. I was doing a scry with... Well, I wasn't, but... David was doing a scry. And he saw someone that I thought would be dead at this point. But they're not.
All right.
How good are you at silencing casters?
Pretty good. Silence the Nightmare King. Silence the Nightmare King and Nira at the same time.
You did. That is right. God, that seems like so long ago.
It does.
I'll keep you from your rest, but I'll talk more in the morning. I'm cooking. But it's not David's, but David's out cold, so...
He's had a long day. Certainly earned some rest.
He does.
Let me ask you, though. This person,
Yes.
does this change anything for you? Is this someone that you care about? Does this change the plan at all?
No, this man has been whispering in the ear of my father for a long time. I thought he was just a human or something. But obviously, he might be more than that. 400 years and he hasn't changed. Looks as wrinkly as prunish fingers out of water, as they always did. But this man is, I don't know his trade specifically, but he makes things for my father. Never saw what they were, but man or whatever he is might be immortal, or at least can live for a very long time.
So I suppose the question is, if this person is not important or sentimental to you, I suppose the question is, does he go first or second?
I don't know his skill set, and that worries me. So first, he's always been mysterious, sort of an advisor, always cloaked, robes. Goes by the
Probably
name
easier.
Praxis.
Probably easier to get to. Makes sense.
You know, thinking on that name, can I do a roll to see how old that name is?
Yeah.
Or
Give
if it's
me
like a name
history.
that's currently in the circulation of time, or back
Yeah.
when he was, like, history check. He's not good at those. I'll give it a go. Oh, all right. Dirty 20, 19 plus 1.
Wow. That name is so old. And even when it was in circulation as a name, it's still a very rare name. You would not hear that name in these times, in these days.
You know, Praxis, the name, even when I was a child, was rare, if at all used. It's old, an old name, from a time long past. We need to be careful around that one. My father is an obvious target, and he is powerful, but the unknown is something that is far more treacherous. And this man? Come to think of it, he's always played his hand close to his chest.
Smart to get a question mark out of the way then.
Exactly. Yes. Take him out, foe fathom fi, faster than he can cast. Sink him.
You got it. Let me ask you though. With either one, let's say one of us has them down. Should we stop and give them to you?
Don't give them the chance. They die. This isn't
All
some
right.
ceremony. This is taking care of something that has caused blight upon the land for hundreds, thousands of years. If you get the shot, or if your blade finds itself at their throat, with no resistance, take the plunge. Cut the thread.
You know you don't have to worry about me.
No, but we've been traveling for a while, you and I. And I know I've been a little shit a lot of the time. Well, I care about you. You're a good friend. So although I know logically I don't need to care about you, I worry all the same.
I think that's the oddness of this journey thus far. I think you can argue that neither of us cared when we started. And now
Yeah.
we die for each other.
Oh, yes. I think that's what drew me to you. This is gonna sound real mushy, so get ready for this, or at least a little competitive, and you can tell me if
You
I'm
like-
wrong.
He like leans on the dorsal.
But outwardly, I was pompous, foppish, standoffish. But inside, it was so similar to how you wore your entire being on your sleeve. Who I am is not this guise you see all the time. That was my fiance, Kotatar. He was an artist, a flamboyant, carefree individual. I was trained to be a warrior, a careless tool. So, obviously I'm not that now, but I've always been more somber, more...
He says with a grin, now you're just a tool.
Fuck you. Oh. Maybe not so loud. People are sleeping.
I
It's
think I picked
good
that
to
up from
see.
Nira.
It's good to see you reunited with your husband.
Not really yet. Not till all this is over. What's odd is, unfortunately, it's just going to be on to the next one after that.
Stanley sort of steps up, so he's quite close to you, looks at you, deadpan in the face with an expression that you have maybe seen from some of your Githzerai soldiers similarly, and says, "You need to get back to your husband. Swear to me, that is your utmost goal."
I think he like breaks eye contact for a second, and then brings it back. Always the plan.
Sen's expression soften. Good. Don't make the same mistake I did.
And what was that mistake?
I left my fiancé alone. He was killed by my father. You see he's frowning, but you see that there is the beginning of a tear, but he's sort of holding it back.
Is that regret written on your face?
Yes, it's regret. Of course it's regret. Kotatar. Just look after yourself. Not just for you, but for Makiak as well.
That's just it, Samleon. I always have. All of you were simply objects in a larger plan. And then somehow along the way, I started caring about you too. Certainly made things complicated.
Well, maybe you can have your cake and eat it too.
Hopefully.
He sort of steps back a bit and just sort of composes himself because
As you step back, he grabs your shoulder.
he just looks
You
at
don't-
you expectantly.
You don't get to die either. You are no martyr in this. You get to live and learn with those regrets. And everything I do next will make sure that you do.
I don't plan on dying, Kotatar. I have too many people I care about now. He looks at you and looks over his shoulder vaguely in the direction of the rest of the group, and then back to you.
Well, in that case, let's go see some fucking dwarves.
I am interested to see what things we can craft with this gold. But to do that, we need sleep. So let's get some.
Miss Well.
Bestie. You just see the mask come on for a hot second as he says that, and then it goes away and goes. For real, though. You are one of my best friends. Good night. Good day. As he turns around, tries to find a house to sleep in.
Yeah. Bestie.
Yes!
And it just goes, ugh. It goes in the
Dan
door.
pauses for like the splittest of seconds, and you don't see the smile creep across his face, and then fade again to tame it. Then as he's walking, yep.
Amazing. Kotatar steps back into his house, nice and quiet and alone. San Leon, you can find a house. Everyone kind of finds a spot that just feels right. And it's a night. Well, actually, it's a day now as you guys take your rest. It feels okay to be away from each other. It feels okay. You've spent so many times in huts, tiny huts, and together in rooms and taverns. And tonight or today, it's nice. You don't feel like you need to be right next to each other to know that you're safe and to know that you guys are together, and you guys get a really nice 8 hours worth of rest.
Yay.
And as you awake, the day is still
It's like 3 o'clock, right?
yeah, it's like 3 o'clock at this point, probably mid afternoon. As you awake, San Leon probably is gonna get
Yeah,
out there and make
cooking.
some breakfast.
Pan thing. Yeah.
And as he makes breakfast, you guys awake and can determine what you would like to do next.
So, just quickly, San was paying attention to David when David was making the food for everyone, their specialties and their like dishes. He knows fully well he's not going to make it as well as David, but he's gonna
For sure. Yeah.
to make things for people. Maybe, possibly, there's like a certain ingredient he won't use or something. If he doesn't know how to use it, he's like, better safe than sorry. But like, otherwise, he's gonna make like a David's layman's feast. It's not gonna be as good, but and he's gonna make something for David as well. He's gonna make it for David first. He's gonna wake you up. He's gonna waft stuff under your nose.
You're muted, Lee.
Oh shit! I've got to cook everything's. What?
No, you don't, friend. Not this time.
Huh?
He just kind of
Smells good. What did you make?
I was paying attention when you were making all the dishes for everyone. They're not going to be as good, but you were so out of it, so tired last night. I thought I would make the food for at least this morning, and I made you this. And he just hands you a dish. He knows you don't like animals, so he cooked as much meat as possible. So this is your way of getting back at wildlife.
You know,
Smile.
salads are good too, only because the trees. Ask Kotatar. I think they scream when you. It's good.
I might ask Kotatar that, friend.
No,
Yeah.
this is really good. I appreciate it. Oh, we gotta get to the Dwarven.
He just holds up a
Dwarven
steaming
City.
cup of coffee as well. Raises an
Yeah.
eyebrow. We need to get going. And then he just gets like
Also-
a pan and pot, goes dung dung dung, everyone food. Yes?
We gotta get your brother out.
Yes.
He doesn't. I wonder sometimes. What could you be like if you had you pull you out before him?
Excellent. You see him start to say something and then kind of like catches himself. Best not to think about that. Let's just try and... You see a lot of wave of emotions going across his face. Best to just pull him out.
He just picks up a sausage from his plate and starts helping rouse people awake.
Yeah, Kotatar's just walking up probably right after that conversation.
You all have wonderful breakfast. It's pretty good. It's not too bad. It's not David's cooking, but it's like an imitation of it, and it's not too bad. Especially after a long walk in the desert and a long fight and a long sleep. Food is good. You have broken your fast, and it is very good.
Reginald is just eating his breakfast. He goes, "Oh, really, boysenberry?" And he stops because that was a bit of the old Reginald, and then he looks at Stanley and says, "Thank you, Stanley, on this delicious."
You don't need to eat the boysenberries. There's other fruit though, if you want it. I'm not going to complain if you don't finish your dish, friend.
No, it's delicious.
From behind him, David meanmugs Reginald like,
Finish your food before you leave the table.
Yeah, what would you like to do now that you are free to move on, or what would you like to do?
Kotatar will look at Silva. So, any idea about directions from here? Can't hear
I
you.
mean-
There you go.
But I don't necessarily know where it is, just what it's called. I mean,
Sure.
they said, why can't I move? Miss Randor.
Mithrandor, right?
Yeah.
So,
So, I mean, if we can find a way to get there.
we could brave the forests again, see if we could find another town a little bit more populated than this one, and go from there.
the issue I have. Oh, you got. I don't know if I'm there. I'm sorry.
No, with all I was gonna say is it was a capital city. So I mean it's long gone, but I mean people would know where it is. So if we just ask around, we can probably find someone who knows the direction that we should go in.
All right.
You know, I mean they'll tell us not to go there because it's just a waste. But
Right.
that's probably a good start. Just find people, ask directions.
So I suppose we just need to pick a cardinal direction.
Yeah, probably just the opposite direction of what we were coming from, right? Because we were in the desert and we headed. I forget.
Sure. We can actually, once we get back on the road, we can also look for tracks as well.
Yeah.
That'll
think
help
we're
us determine
supposed
if we need to turn around.
Yeah, we could keep going west because I know at one point we're supposed to go west.
All right. Everyone ready?
Yes.
Let's do it.
You all begin your walk out of town. And as immediately as you leave this literal ghost town, you find yourselves back into, you go the other side of the town, away from the spider haunt forest where you encountered all the cobwebs and everything. And you find yourselves walking into dense forest. But the further you walk, the more you travel west, the more luscious and beautiful the forest becomes. The songs of the birds are sweeter. The smell of the fresh air fills your lungs. The trees and flowers grow strong, and the fruit is ripe on the trees. It's quite a beautiful place, and the walk is quite nice. I need David to roll a d20. Go ahead, Sanleon.
Walking the forest, you're noticing that Sans feeling. I mean, those who are even paying attention would notice that he's looks like he's on more purpose, a bit more relaxed than usual. Even got just like a more genuine smile on his face as he's looking at everything. He's going to use speak with animals.
Oh.
And in
Copycat. No, I'm just kidding.
he's always had this. It's part of being a
yeah,
Dhampir.
just kidding.
But he's going to say, in bird. I say, is anyone around? I need to ask for directions.
And a little bird comes down.
Are you talking to me?
Well, yes, absolutely. Hello. And in common, I said, do we have any seeds or anything? You know, maybe in your cooking supplies, David, for when you're making bread or.
Yeah, I've got just some steel cut oats from Reginald's. You know, did you use my steel cut oats for his?
Yeah, I did.
Oh.
Not as much as perhaps I should have, but yes, I did.
I give it, and I also am like sort of pretending I don't understand what the bird is saying, but since it's a small
Yeah.
creature, I am like,
Yeah. And of course, just as you've handed over the oats, goes, some food for the road for you, or the skies if you wish. But do you know there's God, how would I put this? How far have you travelled, my friend?
Sweet. What? Me? Well, I've traveled north and south through the winter, for the summer. I've gone quite far for myself.
Interesting. Well, all right. Here's a question for you then, if you've travelled that far. Would you have seen, you know, those kind of, all those bipedal humans walking around with their hives and towns, if you will? Would you have seen one that has been in ruin as far as you can remember? Just kind of all toppled over, kind of not like the other ones.
I might be.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes. What you describe is very, very common in this land. You have to go a little bit further, but you have to be careful. You're in the Dalelands now. You have to watch out.
What does
Watch
that
out
mean?
for the Dales.
What's the Dales?
Well, they protect this land, and they protect the ruin that I think you're talking about.
All right. What do they look like?
Well, they look like you.
So,
you
sort
a
of like
Dale?
humans, I guess. I'm not a Dale. No, I'm not a Dale.
Of course you're not. I haven't seen you, but I've seen the Dales. They all look kind of like you, but they all look alike. They all carry bows and swords, and they're always on the watch for outsiders. So be careful, okay?
Do they have these? And I just kind of like move my hair across, and you can still see the sort of the makings of an elf ear.
No,
Oh,
they
do-
don't have that.
Are they rounded?
Yeah.
Rounded. Okay. Oh, human. Well, thank you so much for your help. As I said, I mean, even if it didn't help, I was going to give it to you anyway. But he's just kind of put some oats, kind of in the cup of a tree. Like he's going to look for the nearest, like when the tree
Yeah.
kind of has like a branch where it's sort of scooped up, and he puts all the oats in there. And backs up and goes, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
And kind of just hops on the oats and starts pecking at it.
All right, I think I have in common. I think I have a direction where we need to go, but we need to look out for. It sounds like some kind of rangers, dales. Not sure. Humans, maybe.
I rolled an 18.
An 18. The weather is good. The weather stays good for your journey. I need, as you walk, and with this, San Leon saved you guys a lot. As you're walking through the woods, I want each of you to tell me one thing that you come across. Maybe it's something that you guys overcome through the woods. We'll kind of story tell this together. I'm gonna start with Kotatar. What is something that you guys either saw or overcame on this journey west?
What is the west?
Hmm.
There's a monkey with a mixed up.
Son of Goldberg. Yeah. A forest filled with nothing but like brambles and like roots, to the point of like near exhaustion to like cut through. So the way that we ended up sort of resolving that is Nira blew up a lot of it.
Okay. Silva. One more time.
You muted.
Yeah.
Hello. There you go.
I
One
don't
more
know
time.
why nothing's changing. It just for some reason
Yeah.
not picking me up. Yes, there is like this one area that turns almost swampy. And the ground gets a little soggier and squishier. And as we get in deeper, light doesn't come through the canopy as much. It gains this sort of smell that is a bit dank and smells like
Dank.
moss and mold and the just tiniest bit of rot. And as we go deeper, there's just that feeling of it being so creepy. You know, you're walking through and you're just like, oh my god, something's gonna jump out. It's got that tickle on the back of your neck feeling as we're making our way through. Making our way through. And one of the things that surprises us as we traverse this area is what would they call it? Colony of these little hares, like rabbits,
Oh, nice.
bunnies. They have like longer ears and almost slightly longer faces as well, and they look very cute. And as we see them and slightly approach, we realize that they have black like fangs dripping with some sort of fluid,
Oh, fun.
and their eyes do not have pupils. They are just this clear white.
Oh my god.
We stay
like
away
it.
from those.
Is this a nightmare? Do we have to take on the
Yeah, right?
nightmare?
It's amazing. Reginald, what's something that you guys come across?
Pick something that Lee would think of. Go.
Yeah.
I know.
So-
I love you guys so much. Like,
I think that's amazing.
So the party comes to kind of a clearing area. It's a bit kind of a little bit deserty, kind of dirty. Reginald leads the way and then finds himself walking into quicksand. He kind of moves forward a bit and he remembers this book as he read as a child. And because he was so sheltered, he didn't realize it was actually a satire. And he thought because of this book, the way to get through quicksand is to actually keep moving and going as fast as he can through it.
Of course.
He starts to sink, and then Kotatar pulls him up by his hair, literally like grabs him out of the ground.
Can I tell you something? My first idea was going to be throwing you under the bus, so I love that I'm just saving you in your own.
And-
I was like, no, I'm not going to do that.
And goes
It's
back,
really
just
funny.
plops him on the ground, and then he just looks at him, and then Nira does prestidigitation, and we walk on and never speak of it again.
I
I love that so much.
David.
well, geez, I was gonna do quicksand.
Yeah.
I think a big part of it is like in the other people's, not necessarily Damien's, but in the other people's like what they noticed and what they saw into it, the animals that Silva saw as they were walking, David could feel them, like as we were passing, they just staring daggers at him. And as we were passing, just like following, like really slowly following. And then through the woods, David just kept hearing whispers of like betrayal, failure, like how could we have been wrong? Just all of this stuff. And he's just getting angrier and angrier as he's walking. And at one point when we were trying to get through those brambles that Nira was blasting, David just so angry at all of these things and so upset with the druids, he reached out and like started to like pull at the weeds or at the brambles, and they were sticking in his hand with a little bit of blood, and all of a sudden the blood started to bubble a little, and just the plants that he was holding just withered and died in his hands. And as they're walking out, David smiles just a little bit.
San Leon, what is something that you either overcame or the group saw on the street?
In the forest. Ooh. Yeah, why not? Yes. So what you'll see, I don't know how long are we traveling for? That's the first question.
It's probably, I'll say, well into the night. You might even take another rest to wait till day, and you're well into your second day of travel.
Signature. And how's our meat rations doing?
You guys are okay. You always tend to have rations. If you're looking for meat, you're probably running low. Other rations are fine.
I just go to David, just after that little thing. I don't know if we saw it. Did we see that properly? Or
No.
no? Okay. Well, based on the conversation we had with the food, okay. David,
Yeah.
how do you feel about venison?
The animal, it's kind of gross. They smell. They're rude. They're pretty rude. You ever talk to one?
Well.
They're mean. However, I have a dry rub in my here, and I could make some good venison steaks.
Interesting. Very well. San would utilize his abilities to sneak, especially as a vampire. He would be on trees like a fucking cryptid. and he would be looking for deer, specifically an older deer, probably a stag. So like an aged stag, perhaps, or failing that, like a, just a roe deer. And take it the fuck out. For lack of a better term. No questions. Just we need a morale boost moving on, and I think some proper game would do well, is what Sam was thinking. And so if you'll allow me to do that, it's basically just hunting at this point, but just getting some good food for.
I would totally join you.
Fuck yes, join in. In this case, if you'd allow it, San would be in the trees, and he would say to you first. He'd be like, "I'm going to whistle in a specific way, similar to that bird you heard before. And when you hear that, it means that I've found my mark, and you use your expert bow skills to take it out properly."
Not a problem.
Fucking phenomenal. And then, yes, that's the inclusion of that. So you just hear like from the trees.
Yeah.
Just
And
like
that's all she wrote.
we're playing Duck Hunt right now.
Like the deer.
Yeah, fucking got him.
Panicked honk. Yes, for one night we were the cryptids. And yes, now with that, you see San. It's a good thing his cloak's red, because he brings back over his shoulder a full fucking stag next to Kotatar. You can see obviously like 2 puncture marks, and he just kind of goes like, "Wasn't me, it was arrow marks." And he puts it down in front of you, David, and goes,
He's just really
"Wow."
good. That's
Yeah. He goes,
I think it's joyous because it's
Venison.
probably the first time they've done it. It's really the beginning, like ever. Really.
"Yep."
I think David kind of getting a little caught up in that moment too is just like, what have you done? This is the ancient stag god of this forest. Now, and he just takes out his chef knife and just starts like
Amazing.
you know,
The wrong reaction from Sen.
Yeah,
What have you
I
done?
think he just
Amazing.
Sonar just looks at you like through the punchline and just continues to stare.
Yeah. Looks like meat. Back on the menu, boys.
So, you guys go through all of these things as you travel.
Montage.
Yeah, montage. That was your montage. And as it gets to be closer to the late afternoon, the forest, while thick and luscious, opens up into a bit of a clearing. And as you guys are crossing into it, Kotatar, your bow lights up.
Let's fucking go.
And an arrow, boom, right past your nose. Everyone roll for initiative.
Oh, all right. Let's go.
As that's happening, I just
Damn.
yell out, "You must be the Dale!"
Oh, geez. That went really well.
All right, initiative.
Jeez.
Oh, that was almost a nat 1, but it wasn't. It's a 13 for
Jeez, you
27.
still beat me. God.
Woo!
oh, it was a nat
I think
1
it's
for
I think it's about to be
86.
I think it's about to be a classic Assembly on 1, Kotatar 2 scenario, just like we like it.
We just do this. We do the whole arms like that together, like.
Yeah.
Silva, what'd you get?
I got a 6.
Okay, so you both got
Classic
six, the
Silva.
Yes.
highest. Who
Six
has
for
higher
success.
dex? I think Silva has higher dex.
I have a
Then who?
+1.
Then David, because you also got a 6.
I got a 16.
Oh, you got a 16. Sorry, I think it cut off. Kotatar, what did you get?
Nah.
I got a 24.
Okay. And Reginald.
20.
Ooh.
Nice.
Okay, so San Leon, you saw this arrow right past Kotatar's. Oh, I'm sorry, my bad. There is a map for this.
Oh, cool.
Yay!
Hey, hey, go.
So I guess we use the map thingy again, yes?
There it
There it
is.
is. We got to clicky.
Go to click.
Please wait for your DM to start the game session. Well, I don't want to wait.
There we go. Start session.
What's
I'm
new
not
in
waiting.
maps?
Remember maps?
bypassing.
Look at that little
Oh,
map.
geez, we're right in the middle
Map.
of this.
Yeah, but at least you got some room to breathe in this one.
Yeah, a clearing. Love that for us.
So you saw the arrow go coming from the southwest.
Okay.
And San Leon, you're up first.
Turning that way, where the shot came from. Just kind of tilting my head. It goes. He starts just sprinting that direction.
Okay.
He's going to rage, but as he's doing so, he says, "What does he say?" Yes. Fire another arrow, and it's the last one you'll ever fire. As he starts sprinting toward, he says, "Stand down or be cut down," as he draws the Dawnblade.
All right, give me a
Oh,
perception
something.
check.
Okay. Oh, that's pretty good. 27.
Nice.
As you start running, you do not think you can see anything in these woods, and you do not know where the arrow came from. But then, just even with a 27, you just see the tiniest coming from behind a tree, a knocked arrow looking straight at you. You know where this person is, and I shall reveal them. Okay?
Okay.
So you are running towards them, Sen, if you want to...
So, do I have enough movement to get to him? Well,
Yeah,
actually,
you
I
have
might
5,
do. Yes.
10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah, you,
So,
you have just enough,
running.
I'll say. I'll put them there.
They would see Sen not being aware of them, and then suddenly being aware of them. And so it would be...
And you see, as soon as you see them, they look wide-eyed that you saw them.
Sen grins, and you see the fangs, and he just dashes toward them with the blade.
Okay.
He's gonna go for a grapple. And as he's going for a grapple, what do they look like? Do they look like
they
typical
look like
bandits or wardens?
They look like human archers. They don't look like bandits. They wear very much green clothing to blend into the environment. The one you see has a beard, just like a nicely kempt beard, and a hat on him, and they look pretty normal, just like normal
Okay.
archers.
As I'm jumping at them, I just say, "That rattled breathing of yours, you might want to get that checked." As he jumps, he's going to go for a grapple, but it's meant to be like a non-lethal, and he's going to say, "We're not your enemies." Though it might sound like one.
Okay, go for your grapple. What do I have to do? An opposed check, a strength check for a grapple?
I imagine so. I do it at advantage. So the grapple, I believe, is athletics. But any strength check is... let's see. Oh yeah, and then another one. 19?
Yeah, you grapple. You
Okay,
pull them
grapple.
out from behind the tree, and they're like, "Huh!" And you have them in a grapple. What would you like to do?
Staring them in the eyes, I just say, yelling outwards at... So it's addressing him, I assume,
Yes.
and anyone else that might be around. It's loud, projected, not quite yelling, but says, "We're not your enemies, Dales. Stand down so we can talk this out."
And you just you just hear from across the distance on the other side of your group, someone in the woods say, "State your business." And is there
accent.
anything else you'd like to do for your turn?
Does he recognize that accent?
It's Dale.
don't- Yeah, it's
Dalian.
Dale. It's Dale. So
And Chip.
you
And
probably wouldn't.
Okay. I don't know if I've got enough time to
No.
stay business. So
Is
6
it-
seconds.
yeah.
So that's my go.
Okay, Kotatar, you're up. You just heard all of that.
Yep.
Shoot them.
I fire into Celion. No. So he's bow out, arrows knocked, and he's looking for anyone else. And I'm going to hold my action to fire on anyone, any arrow flying that is not mine. I'm coming for them. And he just says, just like I'm sure your business is, our business is our own.
Okay, and you're holding your action.
Uh-huh. And
Okay.
And I'll just for flavor and aggression perspective, his planar warrior ability for it to begin to light up his bow with familiar pink force energy.
Okay. With that, you do see an arrow coming directly towards you.
Great.
So who goes first? I can't remember. So you've held your action.
Based off of my trigger, if I hear it, I fire.
Okay,
So I fire
then
immediately.
you're looking at firing. You see an arrow coming from the northeast.
Great.
Like arrows passing in the night.
Yeah.
19 to hit
That hits, I believe.
and a 28 to hit.
Hits.
So, and that will be first one of those is four. So 9. So 16 points of force damage plus 6 magical piercing damage. So
Can you break those up into
16
both
and 5.
hits?
That's
Only
both
one
hits.
arrow?
No, that's both arrows.
Okay,
rolled
what was
really-
what,
I rolled
what was
really
the
low.
s- Okay, what was the second arrow?
So the first arrow is 16 points of force damage.
Okay.
The second arrow was 6 points of piercing damage.
Okay, so I have revealed the second archer who you shoot at this tree, and once again, seems very hidden, but as they came out, because you heard them,
Yep.
they step out, and as a reaction, you actually see, even though it was going to hit, catches the first arrow, but doesn't expect the second one, and right into his shoulder, and he cries out, and he throws your arrow into the ground as he kneels down and starts to kind of just wince in pain. And you hear from another area, once again,
Does his arrow hit me?
huh?
Does his
Oh
arrow
yeah, I
hit me?
forgot to do my attack.
No,
Does forgot about it. Thanks.
No problem. I'm just being honest.
Does a what's the ad?
56 hit.
One. Plus
Does
one.
an 18 hit?
It does not.
Make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, I see what you did there. I have an idea what you might have done there. 25.
Okay, you see the arrow go right past you, but land in the ground and then explodes. But you
Uh-huh.
managed to dodge out of the way.
Dodge roll.
That-
Is it only
arrow-
a 5 foot?
That arrow is also going to affect David, so make a dexterity saving throw.
My best throw, huh? 7.
David, you're gonna take. Oops, where'd it go? 2d6. 1 and 6. You're gonna take 7 points of force damage. And then you're gonna hear a voice coming from another direction say, "Stand down and state your business now." And that is their turn. Reginald, you're up.
Where did that sound come from? The one that the
Came from the northwest.
northwest. Can I see how far? Can I tell like how far away?
No, not really. I mean, you're gonna assume it's from the tree line.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna walk a movement. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna face step into the trees where I think this archer is.
Okay, so
That's
you'll
not
wanna
north.
go northwest.
Isn't there one near San Leon though?
Yeah, there's
Oh,
one
yeah.
near San Leon that's been revealed. If that's where you want to go.
Yeah, that's where I want to go. Yeah.
Okay.
And then as I do a face step in my autumn form, it must do a wisdom 14 save or be charmed by me.
Okay.
Hmm.
That is a 15.
Ooh.
Okay, so we're doing this.
Does San have to roll it too?
No. It's my choice.
It's not creatures? Oh,
It's my
I
choice.
would love to see San Leon charmed by you.
Charmed, I'm sure.
Charmed.
All right.
That's Reginald's amazing.
Amazing. Inside check.
Wow. Is
I'm
that
gonna-
your sense? I see.
I'm gonna attack twice with my dagger then. So I'm
Oh,
gonna-
geez. Okay. We're just going for it. Let's go.
You're attacking
Kind
the
of
one that
not-
I got grappled.
Oh, has
Yeah.
it got grappled?
Yeah, he's
So
grappled.
you have advantage.
Oh, I didn't realize you have grappled. Okay.
And you see this guy, he looks a little taken aback that he's being grappled, but he's not fighting back at this moment. He's kind of just, and he's looking at you. Make an insight check.
Insight check. Okay. Table. Nope. That's a nope. I rolled a 3.
Okay. Yeah, you can't really tell his intentions.
Alright.
Okay.
As he is grappled, and I did not realize that. I will put the dagger to his throat and then call out to this other voice and say, "Come out now, and we can talk."
Got your friend.
Got your friend.
You see an archer step out with his hands up. He's got his bow in his hand and an arrow in the other, but he has them up. All right, we can talk this out. Stand down.
With that,
Slowly pull
are we
the
still
dagger
in
away.
initiative?
If you want to be, they actually, you'll see.
I was
So
gonna say, how many
that's whose
people-
turn it was.
Yeah.
So that's his turn coming out.
Okay. Well, you reckon?
Silva's not going to be doing anything. She's just going to put.
Okay, David, it is your turn.
Can I'll I guess I'll walk a little bit up to this fella.
Mm-hmm.
Slap him across the kneecap.
I'll take
going
Reginald's dagger and just no. So
Finish
David's
what he
gonna kinda
started.
walk. He's gonna walk up with his hands up and be like, "From what we understand, if you are the Dales." I also, while I'm doing this, while I'm walking to him, can I do a? I mean, I have a passive perception of 19, but can I kind of see if I can tell how many more people could be hitting?
Yeah, with a passive
can-
19, you can't see them.
Can I roll?
You can
while
roll
I'm
a
walking
perception.
to perceive.
Yeah, sure.
Less than 19. So
Yeah.
okay.
There.
enough.
So I'll just be like, look, from what we understand, you protect the ruins of Mithrandror. We have business
understand
there.
that?
That's what the bird said. David can speak with. David was trying to hide it, but he definitely understood what that bird.
Oh, I
said.
know, I know. I
Yeah,
suppose
no,
maybe
like-
I just misinterpreted
Oh,
that. We
yeah,
just had to be
the
aware of it. I also
bird-
didn't realize they like.
The
Yeah.
bird said that they're protecting it or something like that. They're the guardians of it, right? Yeah.
Mm.
So
Alright. My bad. My bad.
All
we
good?
mean not to do anything. We have literally been sent here by, what are the elves called that gave us their bones?
I don't think you know.
No, I don't
Elves
think
of
we did.
yore.
Elves of
We
yore,
were
yeah.
sent here by the warriors who protected our realm from the nightmares before. I don't know if you've had a bad night's rest, but those nightmares are back, and we are the ones who are now fighting them. Look, I don't have it in me to have this conversation and be cagey. This is what we need. There is a dwarven city underneath. We have been sent to go there to craft tools to fight. Oh, hi. Yep, welcome.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah. Hey, what's up?
So you can either help us, and I point at Kotatar, be like,
And his bow is straight up out.
yeah, it'll be like,
Not a problem.
the more of you that come and join us, that doesn't dissuade him. He'll listen, but if he needs to, I think
That's a
that
good
we have a
cop, bad
common
cop.
goal. We have a common goal. Can I get you a cup of coffee? Just kidding.
Cigarettes? No. Sorry.
Any of that?
We will drop initiative, and you start to see them come out of the woods, and you see the one that you're standing in front of, who kind of has this sense of being kind of the leader. He looks down and kind of has his hands out and kind of drops it so that he tells everyone to kind of calm down, stand down. And he looks at you and he says, well, you're talking nonsense to me. I've never heard anything like that before. But I suppose you just, yeah, you're really confusing. Do you know that?
Everything about our situation's pretty confusing, yeah. What are you doing here? You asked our purpose. I didn't say it would make sense to you.
And
I was
he
hoping it would.
quickly throws a gesture out to the red archer to take care of the blue archer who has an arrow in his shoulder. And so while they are tending to that, he literally just, without missing a beat, he just says, you want to go where now?
Under the ancient ruins of Mithrandror. What is it? Mithrandor? Mithdranor.
It's trailer.
There is a way somehow there is a thriving, apparently, dwarven city. And we are to go there and arm ourselves for a fight against literal nightmares. Care to join?
You are a weird one, I have to say. What are you talking about? Mithranor's been nothing but ruins. No one lives there, and definitely no one lives underneath it.
When's the last time you went underneath it?
We don't go there. We don't even touch. There's magic there. The mythal, it protects Mithdranor. Can't get in.
Of course, there's a fucking mythal.
If someone can get in, it's probably us. It's probably Nira or Kotatar.
Fireball. No.
We
Sorry,
go ahead. No, you go.
In the conversation break, Kotatar will look over at the blue archer and just say, "Nice catch, both of them."
Perfect. That was nice.
In it.
He just kind of looks at you for a second, like as you say, "Good catch," and he's like, and then he's like, both of them. He goes, and he just kind of gives you a stink eye.
Perfect. No notes.
Is the one we're grappling with injured at all?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
I've
give a
like
hand
let
then.
go.
Yeah, I'm
of,
sure
Let him
you
go.
will.
Yeah.
them,
I'll
and
give a
just like
hand
I
to
just
the
look
sub.
at them like,
Yeah.
don't do
He-
that again. Like that kind of like you do that
He's
again.
kinda just like-
it's not gonna be a grapple.
Yeah. He felt your strength. He definitely felt your strength, and it's just like, yo, man, we're cool.
Good.
Look, those are ancient ruins. And even though they are ruins, we protect them. We don't want just anyone walking and trying to get in.
I assure you, we're not just anyone.
All right, prove it.
All right, Reginald, stab him. I'm just kidding.
With
Well, that's
pleasure.
what I meant.
If they're saying prove it, I'm just gonna grab the sun because it's a sort of impressive weapon, I guess. Some people haven't even seen these before, so he would just go with the blade of light
It's
just
the
come out.
lightsaber out.
The yellow archer next to you is just like, and kind of like steps away, like totally just shocked.
It's
And
not for you, at least not unless you shoot another arrow at me, friend. And then he looks at me.
And I get my Gith crafted bastard sword out and just hold it, and it's like
We're flexing on
beautiful-
them. Fuck yes.
We're flexing. Yeah. Just-
I'm just gonna like motion to everybody, like you see what they're doing. I don't need to pull out anything.
Silva's like Will Smith meme.
Yeah.
there-
Kotatar will just look at the red. I guess it was red and blue. You don't need me to demonstrate anything. You already know.
I mean, I guess the real proof is you see that, and that one over there just grappled. This one over here. Look, the catching of the first arrow was probably because, he let it happen. So we're powerful enough. I'm not trying to be threatening here, but we're powerful enough that if we were not worthy but still going there, you couldn't have stopped us. But we are worthy, and we're asking you to show us and let us in.
And on
The
top
night-
of that, oh no, go ahead if you want to finish your
No.
sentence.
No.
On top of that, if there's any protections and we're not worthy, it'll kill us anyway. So you don't lose anything.
he looks around and everyone exchanges glances at each other, and then he looks down at you, David, and is just shrugs and says, "Fine, it's your funeral. If you want to see Mithranor, we can show you the way. As long as you stay away from our towns and our crops and our livestock. You got it?"
Yeah, I don't care about your town, dude. Just show us the ruins, dude. Come on.
Yeah, dude. Fuck off, man. I just want to
Dude, we're not here for you.
I just want to say that ruins, bro. Just show me the
We're on
Grand
our
Canyon.
Um,
Kotatar will say, "How far is the trek from here?"
It's probably another couple hours if you're not fast.
David kicks a rock.
My
I
gate
am
is
not
really
fast,
small.
I'm small. I was built for sprinting, not long distance running.
Well, while we still have daylight, shall we?
And they'll part the way, and he'll just say, "All right, Take. Mhm.
Okay.
I was just gonna say, take your walk past west, and stay close to the river. The river will take you there.
Huh. I thought a second ago you were talking about taking us there, and suddenly you're giving us directions. That's fascinating to me.
We don't want to go anywhere near there. I'll let the
Fair
river
enough.
do it.
Is the blue archer like dressing like good? Does it look like
Yeah.
total trash? Okay.
Oh no, it's really well done.
Okay, cool.
Good that you addressed that.
Man,
Okay.
you were doing so well. I was so proud of you, Daniel. Great scene, and just at the 11th hour,
Yeah.
literally.
Daniel, you wound me.
I hate both of you so much.
Good idea. Good one.
When you keep saying red archer or blue archer, all I can think of is Power
Red
Rangers now.
yeah, totally.
Well, they're
Totally.
literally the Power Rangers colors. So
Yeah, it's valid.
Yeah.
It's valid. And just look at everybody else, shall we?
Yes.
Do you guys have any health potions or nah?
They just look at you.
I look to Reginald and I go, Reginald, could you
Hello.
maybe spare a bit of your newfound power on that one that we injured?
I was just thinking the same thing, my friend.
Oh, good.
David, are you gonna walk over to the guy that got shot?
Yeah.
David,
that's
just
why I
as
asked,
you're
'cause I was
walking,
going
Bill.
Yeah, go ahead.
You just gonna be Reginald. Very cool that you have this newfound power.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they can take care of their own, and if what they say is even half true, we might need you to hang on to every drop of power you've got. I like look at the bandage, and it's a really good job. They're gonna be fine.
Well, you are the healing expert, my friend. Yes, we literally have the world to save. So yes, I'll keep my power for now.
Okay. And as you guys decide to going, well, it's north on the map, but it's west. You do quickly find a stream that kind of goes into a small river that leads straight as the sun begins to also set towards the west. You're following the sun, you're following the river. And you guys continue.
He's getting a sticker.
Oh,
Buddy.
buddy.
timing.
Say goodnight to everybody.
Good night.
I love him
Aw.
so
That would have been
much.
good timing.
Yeah.
As you leave, the leader of the as you guys head into the woods, the leader of the Dales just says, "We'll be watching."
Well
Stand
aware of that.
Yeah, Kotatar does like the Japanese like anime like way from behind like
Both of us. Oh my god.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yes.
Do y'all have
Oh,
a crystal
guys.
for Kotatar?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. We are not an ally.
And then
Not,
as we're saying
hashtag not an
that,
ally.
I look back at the one that I grappled and I say, well aware of that. And then look away again.
You guys travel almost until the sun is low in the sky. And just as you think you might want to stop for the day as it starts to get dark, who's in front? Kotatar? Reginald?
Probably from the conversation, probably. Yeah.
Yeah,
Probably
like
Kotatar.
in tow, like Reginald, Kotatar and Zan.
Yes, Sam? Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
Yeah,
Especially with a
that
dual
works.
wave.
Yeah. Yep.
Give me a dexterity saving throw.
Sure.
Yep. Oh, do I get one too?
Yeah, both of you.
Oh, goody.
Would
I
this
get advantage.
be against a plant that is magically created or manipulated to impede movement?
No.
Guidance.
Cool.
Guidance to whoever's got the better whatever.
14.
14.
Study saving throw.
Uh-huh. I would like to say my passive perception is 23, so I don't know if I mean, I'm just saying. I might have seen some stuff. Okay.
I rolled at advantage. Same thing. 17 plus 5 is 22.
Okay, you're both okay because I'll take your passive. Right in front of you is a bubble of iridescent energy.
Oh, shit.
And as you guys almost run into it, you touch it and it feels solid.
Good, I just turn to immediately clicking, maybe clicking. Goes, David. Oh, who has the bag of holding? Is it Reginald or David?
David, I think.
It's David.
Oh, definitely David.
Can we have your patented bag of holding for a hot second, please?
Pens? No, what do you need?
Just a skull. Any old skull. A gold one.
No, I don't have the gold skull.
Who has a
Silva
gold?
does.
Or at least a gold
Silva
bone
does.
or something. Silva. Come hither, friend.
Get there.
Yes. Or dither, I don't care. Prefer
Going
hither,
back
though.
and forth.
I don't think this map is relevant anymore.
Okay.
No.
What's up?
Can you... This is going to sound a bit far-fetched, but if these ruins are from a time when these individuals existed, could you not potentially... Please press the skull into the barrier, please. Just gently.
Also, by the way, this is a barrier.
There's a barrier here. You cannot see it, but there is a barrier.
It's right.
We almost face
Ran
planted
into
into
it.
it.
Yes.
Like this?
Yeah, just
Yep.
see if it does anything.
As Silva pushes the golden skull into the energy of the bubble, you hear a voice that says, "Prepare to be tested." And that's where we end tonight.
Whoa!
Of course.
Off the cliff. Okay.
Perfect. Hang
Let's
in.
do it.
There's
Wait.
always a test.
And that's what they call
Or intelligence
cliffhanger.
saving throws. San is not going to do well.
Not gonna do well.
Thank you, everyone who watched with us alive, everyone who watches on YouTube, and everyone
Alive.
on our podcast.
I prefer the dead watchers, actually.
Thank you, ghosts and ghouls. We appreciate
we
you
appreciate
as well.
you.
dear
Why are we all from
boys.
New York suddenly?
We will be back next week to figure out what this test is and to see if they
Yeah.
make it into Myth Drummer. Okay, we'll see you then. Bye bye.
Hell yeah.
Ah! Ooh.
My friend, I see you've changed your face. My friend, what game you play today? Will you stay, roll the dice, spare a life? My friend, will you remain behind?